Please, it's high time we actually begin to value competence, capacity. All right, we all went to school. We never had to be looking for a born-again lecturer. And we'll go to the market to buy gari. We are not asking whether it's a Muslim that's selling it. If the gari is neat enough, we buy. We don't ask whether it's an Ibuma or wherever it is. So if the youth can actually come to their senses this time around and just get to drop all those nonsense things, that's actually, come on now, 30 years, you'll be growing up all your life. This is the best you get. We are not in the days where you use generator to power your business and use NEPA as a backup. It's very annoying. It should be big. The first day this thing actually dawned on me was many years ago. We went for a youth alive conference in Kenaland, and we got lodged in the university. It just be the university then, in the hostels. Do you know I was rushing to iron my clothes? You see, with the mindset that I was. You know, it's so annoying. Only to suddenly realize that, oh, I'm not in Nigeria. I'm in Goshen, where light does not go up. Yes. Just imagine what that does to your mind. This man went to the story of how two children that were born in the UK came to Nigeria. One always come before there was one that normally came, but this particular one, 12 years old boy, has no fella Durotoye was one that told the story. This one has not visited Nigeria before, so one particular day, both of them were in the bedroom bathing because they were just pretty, and suddenly light went off, NEPA. And the second one who was coming to Nigeria for the first time, 12 years old boy, was shouting, I'm blind, mommy, what? And the other one was just laughing because that one has been coming to Nigeria. He used to take him back. 12 years old boy has never seen light blink once. And it's not a miracle. If we're to have, if 50,000 megawatts want going to give Nigeria steady electricity, a thinking nation will make sure they generate 70,000. You have 10,000 extra to handle things. With that, you don't finish. Every other thing will prosper around it. When light was an issue in Egypt, there was a revolution. If you still remember, for 3 days, they were on the streets. They didn't go to work. Because small businesses closed down because of the lack of electricity. And I think the president resigned that time. For days they were just on the streets, like kind of the NSAS that we did. But how did it bring God to them? By our own. They bring God to us. But this time around, with PVC, we will quietly, respectfully, and throw them upwards on this matter. So please join us on this thing. Sensitize your family. They say we don't vote, and vote don't count. It will count this time around. So we have found hope in someone we think he will be able to lay the foundation. He won't be able to do everything, but will be sure of the foundation so that others can start building on it. And number two, and for the first time, it will dawn on Nigerians that righteousness exalts a nation, that integrity pays. Because they have made the country to look as if integrity does not pay. All right? So you can do it wrong and get away with it. Now you hear different languages on the street that school is a scam, and because Agberos are not the one ruling us. So it was this era we started hearing education is a scam, school is a scam. When we were growing up, we would say education is key. That was what we growing up to be hearing. And everyone was encouraged to go to school. Then because it's now a republic of Agberos, determining everything, the dance school is a scam. Money is not everything. As much as if anybody that knows me, I like to make money, but money is not everything. So let's recover our values back. Let's recover it and start thinking properly and do things right and live a better life. All right, so let's quickly do what we have to do. Wherever anybody needs, so we'll do that. Read through definition of assets, and we also discussed the three stages of what? Of an asset. How many of us remember? Okay, what's the first stage of a true asset?
Purchase.
An asset must go through a stage of what? Purchase or buying. Okay? And number two, a true asset must go through the stage of what? Holding. So you cannot buy something today and expect to sell tomorrow and you call that asset. That is not what? An asset. That is kalo. That is what do you call the other one? Lottery. Because every asset, somebody must buy it. Like we said, even if you inherited it, or whoever you inherited it from bought it. Huh? And number two, you must go through the stage of holding, the process of delayed gratification. So you don't buy a land and get angry and say, oh, I'm in need, I want to sell. Something I wanted to post this last week, so I'll put it next time, that cryptocurrency does not go up in value just because you are in need. So cryptocurrency not be your mate. I don't know how to tell people of this on the internet. Crypto not be your mate. So it doesn't go up just because you are in need. Just the same way, your CEO will not increase your salary because you are in need. Do you do it? Have you increased your staff salary because they're in need?
Is it a dream?
Yeah, you don't increase your salary. So the holding process, the holding stage must be fulfilled. You must be patient. I need money. No, it won't go up because of all these anxieties. No. So get ready what you are, just know what you are getting into. Understand what you are getting into. So number three, a true asset must what? Be sold at a higher value in what? In the future. Are you getting that now? It must not be sold now. You bought yesterday, you want to sell now. You bought 3 months ago. No, you must be in the future. And it must be at what? At a higher value. That means if I bought an asset for $2 and I'm not expected to sell at $2, I have to wait until it becomes $5 or $10, $20 in the future for me to qualify to be a true asset. Because that is the fulfillment of an asset. Be sold at a higher value in the future. And in the number 2 stage of holding is to give room to what? Cash flow. So if the asset is not leading to cash flow, then it cannot also be a true definition of an asset. That is why the house you build to live in is not quantified as an asset in the real business terminology. Are we together? So when we come to real business discourse, you don't call the house you live in an asset, because while you are living in that house, it does not produce what? Cash flow. But when it's sold in the future, it will be sold at a higher value. That means it's part of an asset, but in its completeness, it's not what? An asset. Exactly. So always understand this thing works, so that all the money you are making in Lagos, your grandma does not tell you, you know, your papa did not build that village, you must build that village, you're not going to build the first house in the village. Or even when you build your first time in Lagos, don't impress anybody. See, get to a level where you are dead to people's feelings, what people are saying, comments. So you don't take all the money and build the house. I'm not living in my own house. Come and dedicate the house. We will dedicate the house. We'll rejoice with you. But understand, the source of that money has not been compounded. Therefore, you are still going to be broke right in your own house.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody say, "I hear."
Yeah.
So please understand. That's why you come to massive bank account with Ambassador Light. We have to remove those 13, not the overcrate 13 from your body, so that when the money comes to you, you don't just throw them all here and there and waste them. So whenever you have money and somebody say buy this, you now define it with these 3 stages of a true asset. Especially the holding aspect of it, if it generates what? Cash flow. If it's not generating cash flow, just say, I'm not buying for now. Leave it first. You don't just change card because you want to change the card. If it's not leading to that, don't worry. Are we together? So please, very, very important. Now let's quickly discuss on reasons business fail. You know what we teach here is does not just apply to crypto, it applies to everything that you do, so that when in case you are in business, you begin to use all those things to check them out. So there's some expensive clothes but you don't buy. So if you are tailor, what do? You buy another machine. Because that will generate what? Cash flow. So if you don't, because in the academic accounting system, when you are asked to maybe become an accountant to do all the thing in your home, it's going to call carpet assets because that's the way it's defined. Television assets. But this television, if it's to be sold in the future, will it be sold at a higher value from the time you bought it? Sure. Then it's not an asset. But in accounting, the one they taught in school is an asset. That is why when we teach you MBA here, we are not talking about the master what? MBA. We are talking about what? Massive bank accounts. And the one we teach you, it will definitely lead to what? Massive bank accounts. Oh, thank you, must well up. You must well up. So, reasons businesses fail. Number one, poor understanding of your products and market needs. Poor understanding of what? Of products. Understanding of your products. One of the reasons that so many of you are not doing well, even in the ZENIQ family, is because you don't even understand the business. When they ask you, okay, do presentation, you are stammering. You don't even know where to start. So you can't do well if you don't even know what they're talking about. So the fear of prospecting, the beginning of it, is lack of understanding of what we stand for. So when you have the coins too, you want to sell irrespective of the low price, is boiled down to what? Lack of what? Understanding. So if you have a better knowledge, a complete knowledge of what you are marketing and where we are going, then you'll be a bit relaxed. So whatever you are producing, if it is your personal business, and you don't understand the market needs, you're also going to lose that. Even in politics, they call it, oh, that man is a grassroots politician. You see the difference now. The other one is Lagos politician, it's a city politician. He does not know what they are doing across the bridge. One is more grounded because he knows how to penetrate the people, he knows the language they speak, and know how to rally around it. It's the same thing in business world. So you have a product, you don't just produce a product that turns to the market. So most of the time they do feasibility study, you find out in the market what are they looking for. Then you produce what they need. Then you have an edge. Are we together? Yes. Somebody many years ago, a company was sent to India for feasibility studies, and the first person got there and saw the poor Indians were without shoe. And of course, it was a shoemaking company. And everyone was walking barefoot and they were so poor. And he returned to the US and told the company, man, there's no market. You won't be the one that saw. We have no market in that place. These people don't believe in wearing no shoes. They are all walking barefooted and they are so broke, they can't even afford what to wear to visit. And of course, the company thinking and sent somebody else there. Another person went another time, and without knowing the report of this first one, and immediately he saw it, he saw the opportunity to produce shoes en masse. And with speed, returned to the company. I said, the business we have there is enormous. It's like Joshua and Caleb report. The business, we can't do this as a matter of fact. Of course, that made him a multi-millionaire. Produce low-cost shoes, and people jump at it. Complete understanding of your products and the market needs is so vital. So if I were you, get back home. If it means for you to go to ZENIQ website, just be reading like a normal student. Don't even try to be technical. Just be reading for reading's sake. and be learning what they are saying. What is the vision? Where are we, in the vision now? So that next time you don't just treat it like every other crypto. Number 2, not innovating fast enough. You are a tailor. They taught you how to make clothes using cement bags. Those days they use cement bags to cut clothes. Because that is where I learn. I don't want to waste people's clothes. Now they have entered digital in terms of checking out those drawings. You are not still learning that. You will lose that. You are still sewing native, like somebody from Oyo, without pockets. That must put pockets on the shirt. The side they normally put it. That if you put money, somebody will steal it from your back. You are still sewing things like that. You are not going to be in the business for long. That means you are not innovating what? Fast enough. Now we have examples, I think global examples, of companies that were victims of this. Because they felt they were right, they got it to the plateau, and they had no reason for innovating. Somebody can mention number 1. Number 1. Nokia. See, Anna? 2 people mention Nokia at the same time. When we were selling Nokia, you can literally carry the phone and steal somebody with it and still collect the phone. So they were lost in the euphoria of that solidity, that were strong like stone. So when Android started coming with open phone with the face like that, they're like, no, this one will not survive, it got destroyed. And people were falling in love with it almost gradually. And at last, the CEO said, we don't know what we did wrong, and wept. Please, attend to this place. You come and check outside. So don't know what we done wrong, and the man wept. Number 2. Who is the number 2? People, I don't talk to my mate. Blackberry, God bless you. When this Blackberry came, oh my goodness, ladies will be on Okada. They will not hold anything. It was like madness on the street. If you didn't have Blackberries, like when they promote iPhone these days, you were out of touch. You were not a big babe. Blackberry, you almost got Walla. Because Walla. Okay. Also, refusing to innovate fast enough lost the market. So, you know why I'm showing all these things? If corporations like this, that are bigger than nations in terms of their GDP, could lose out, just imagine you, who is having your shop in Abulegba, and all your competitors, they are Abulegba. They are not, your competitors are in China. The day somebody send a picture on WhatsApp of that your product to them, they will mass produce it and sell it in your neighborhood. You'll be so shocked, you'll be buying from the person without you. So understand that the competition of today is global. It's no longer a local one or national one for that matter. You have to understand that. Number 3, which other one can remember?
To go.
Blockbuster, eh?
To go.
Is that what?
To go.
Okay, that is another one. No, we call it Coda. Not two boy wanted to mention. Okay, let's call it Coda. This one, I don't know when last any of you have gone to the studio to take pictures. But that was what we're doing. If there's Christmas, like they're having the what they do for Muslim now, if you've not gone to studio to take picture, you're always not complete now. Now, right there, even in your bedroom, if you care, don't mind to even take it there. The camera just increases, and that was it. Even those who are making torchlights, I don't know when last will happen, whether some of you have torchlights in your home now. Because the light in the back of your phone is more than enough for you to go and change to NEPA or change to generator when they take light. This one, they lost it to which people? Blockbuster lost their market to which people?
Netflix, yes.
Thank you, God bless you. They lost it to them. So, that you are doing well does not mean you should just be relaxed. Don't ever you relax. Oh. Never you relax. Those who stay in the market for too long are those who stay innovating. You don't stop reading, because that is one fastest way of having the ability to innovate. You keep researching, keep searching, keep looking for. If you have this mindset, you're able to build a business and be there for a long time. Are we together? So please, very, very important. Reason businesses fail, we have said number one is poor understanding of the business, and number two, not innovating fast enough. That's what we'll give you the last one. This one, whatever business you are into, you like it. Complacency. So handling business feedback. Business feedback. Additional? Okay. Mr. Jerome, please. Complacency in handling what business feedback. A customer complaint of your delivery, how do you respond to it? So if you're a kind of person who gets angry and all of that, then you definitely don't have a repeat of that person. Even the crypto we're into, you're a leader of your team and they call you, how do you respond to the person? Because they have business feedback. Are you getting that? Because some of you leaders, once you get somebody registered, you have gotten your bonus to your turn to Israel. When they call you, they are disturbing your life. You have forgotten you are not responsible at that level to keep educating this person until the person gets matured. Handling business feedback is so vital. It's only here in Africa the government they don't really want to hear. Because even the government, you guys are supposed to hold them accountable of what they said. Because you promised something. You promised me electricity. For example, this present government, when they were coming, they said in 6 months they will do it. 6 months, ministers were not nominated. We're not appointed, Abi. We're not appointed. Ministers were not appointed in 6 months. So how do you even feel the life? That was enough to tell Malga step down. You know why I love the business of football, not just the game of football. I used to love the game of football when I was growing, and I love to play football. But since the era has passed, I now moved to what? The business of football. So if I'm going to buy a club tomorrow, I don't know, but I think I love it. One of the reasons I love is that I employ you as a coach for 4 years. In one season, you are drinking, your legs are shaking. I fire you straight away, replace you. Because there's no time to test wrong. Are you with me? Yes. See, John Report told me, he said, there is no return match in the game of life. It's not a football. We play home. Then we play a away match. If you mess with the life you have now, it's going to be messed up totally. So handle your business feedback effectively. People are calling you for guidance. Please do. Give them the best. And in every other business you are doing, you are selling something. And this thing I bought that day, see, they don't talk from this thing. Don't just shout, you cost it, no. Gently look at it critically. You know where to come in. Do you know Samsung lost billions just because they produced a phone with an error that was killing people? Have you forgotten? Don't forget it easily. They manufactured a phone that when people are sleeping, listening to music, the phone was getting hot too easily, and there will be fire, and a lot of people died in the process. What did Samsung do? They had to retrieve that particular phone from the market, and they lost billions for doing that. In our production company, we have done that too. We make soap, and you find it in the market, it's in the mess, you retrieve it, and quickly replace it. You see that? So, you must master the business feedback so that you can keep the customer for long. Are we together? So very, very important. So let's go through it once again. Number one, what is that has never happened? Never. my bishop trained me very well, trained me well. That no matter what, I don't care whether it's 5 minutes mission. Because you can't tell what we drop. You can tell. One revelation we just dropped. I've attended a meeting that the bishop came to us, the business meeting, came to give a 5 minutes intro. That has not left me till date. What he just said within that time. They just entered me like a pin. Number one is he just stood up. And you know in normal way of moving. Poverty is an accomplishment. I've never heard anybody spoke like that. And why the people are trying to write that one down? He threw another bomb. Prosperity is an accomplishment. Okay, we understand that one. But how is poverty an accomplishment? Proverbs 10:4. He becometh poor, he that dealeth with his slack hand. The hands of the diligent will reap. Wow. Woo! Those things never left me. I didn't check the Bible, but they entered me. It was later I have to check the scripture on that. They entered clean straight away. So that means nobody was actually born poor, even though we have people who are privileged to be born in rich homes. But even though you are born in the poor environment, you are not still born poor. You are born with greatness, with the seed of greatness on your inside. So what you do with it, if you end up your whole life with nothing to show for it, that is actually what you have accomplished. That is what man was saying. Poverty is an accomplishment. People acquired it over in the process of their living. It's not because that is what God ordained for you, but because of your so many opportunities missed and your nonchalant attitudes to opportunities, then you just lose out. Lastly, don't you forget this, I told you last week or 2 weeks ago, that the secret to making millions in the emerging markets is taking advantage what? In the whisper of opportunity. When somebody comes to you, have you heard? There's an opportunity. That whisper, that time, you jump into it. One of us this morning, not knowing what to do with the account, showed me his account that he bought when we started ZENIQ. And he told me one of the accounts had 31,000 ZENIQ. Can you get that now? Now, the whatever amount he invested then, if he's to invest it in ZENIQ, now he can never get that amount in 2 years, not even 1 year. But in 1 year or less than 1 year, he has 31,000 coins in one account. Invest that same amount now, in 2 years, you won't have that number of coins. So when you learn how to take advantage of the whisper of opportunity, you have no idea what is happening to your life. Now we have another whisper of opportunity in what? In Tupan. The Tupan we have now is a whisper of opportunity. Because we're in the pre-sale of this particular program. Just like we started ZENIQ. So if you miss out of this, God forbid. Because some of you who came into ZENIQ this year, through these 2 parts, you can recover all the money you invested in ZENIQ and 2 parts. Because this, if you are able to afford the €998 master note, this will be producing 100 coins for you daily. The opportunity never had the ZENIQ because it didn't come into ZENIQ on time. We're going to be having it to Tupan. And it's a partner to ZENIQ, and it's going to be built on the ZENIQ smart chain. So don't miss this. So you multiply this like times 3 what? Is it 365 days in a year? You now know how many coins you are going to generate. So once you go enter market, even if it's 2 cents, and you say, let me offload, it's going to be millions for you. It's the same thing with a child that's exposed to computer all time, like Bill Gates, because of the kind of parents he had. Even though there was not so much money in the family, but they were all people that were well read and had access to computer when children did not even have access to toys to even play their cartoon. And by the time children of his age would be having that same privilege, he was already coding and showing them. So he was years ahead of his mates. because of what? Privileged information. So once again, welcome to Safir Global, a marketing company that handles a whole lot of things. The blockchain tech, energy tech, healthcare, these are different sectors that this company actually focus on. But for today, or for what we'll be doing for the past 1 year, is actually focused on what? On the blockchain technology. So, but these are theory products that we have, the companies that we have partnership with, ZENIQ Technologies, Avinon, which is a virtual company, and the Tupa, which is a recent one. So we're having these 3 companies, and we are working with them in one back office. So we are building a stronger company, and of course, this is part of the story about when the company is not innovating. So you can see that this company keep innovating, keep bringing something new, and that is helping us to go deeper and get stronger. Digitalization of the world. This one, I always like us to always read it together because I just want to let something sink into your brain. Can we read this together? Want to go? Digitalization of the world. The world was dealing with digitalization, blockchain technology, and tokenization will be the winners in the future. What about if this is true? And you are not positioning yourself, you're going to miss out. Now that you know this is where the world is going, what do? You are getting the privileged information that this is the journey. You quickly take position and begin to work it as a matter of urgency. So the ZENIQ app wallet, it was a dream when we started, now we have it. Are we together? So it's no longer a dream. This is to come staking. This is actually where a lot of people are going to make crazy money when we start our staking. And if you have so many coins now, please keep them like holy ground. Eh? Because that's what's going to matter there. At least I expect so many of you to go to stake minimum 10,000 coins to 100,000 coins. Because all the activities that we have, all the gas fee, the charge that we have on the exchange will be paid 100% back to the people that keep those coins. Because you are the one that is providing liquidity. You are the one that, because when you stake your coins, you are telling the company that I believe in your project and I'm not ready to take this coin out for the next 10 years. So such person needs to be rewarded massively. Are you getting the idea? So that is that. So when you deposit your money in the bank, you are also telling the bank, I believe in you, I believe in your system. But the bank likes it because they are going to take that money and give to them to do business, and they collect 25% interest and pay you 3.5%. So they don't really, they encourage you to save, but they don't save the money. I hope you know that. Banks encourage you to save, but they don't save. They don't save. So that's like called their license Ponzi scheme. They've been licensed by the government to enjoy. All right, our own smart chain is out. Imagine that. Can we clap for this company? Now, before now, of all the 14,000 cryptocurrencies in the market, we only have companies with smart chain, 8 of them. Now, then it just became the 9th one. You can't see it's a massive achievement. So that shows you that we are not in a hurry. So we are not going to get into the manipulation of cryptocurrency or pump and dump. Huh? A particular crypto pumped their crypto 2 months ago to $108,000 for one. So this morning I checked the coin, it's now less than $10,000. So imagine those who bought 2 months ago when it was $100,000.
I remember somebody asked us to buy when it was
80. No, I remember. You see that?
Said it was going up.
It will go to, because they were targeting $500,000. I told them when they asked me, I said, this is not going to last. It's not going anywhere. The manipulation is just too much. Now they're dumping it. The same creator of that crypto has created another one. So technically it's going to...
Another one again. Of course.
Just leave that one. We'll discuss that one later. Anyway, that's where it is. And that was the issue I had with the man, that he shifts goalposts too much. So when I was working with him, I said, no, I need to quickly get into ZENIQ and look at it. And I saw ZENIQ were more balanced. And people work with this company. Because this other one, once you're about to achieve something, they shift the goalposts. It has happened. It's already there. Alright? It's just because I did not even take advantage of the whisper of opportunity. When it was announced, one Avinok was $3. October 2021. Now, one Avinok is 27 cents now.
It was 37.
When my upline, Mr. Asker, took advantage, because himself did not take advantage of the 3-cent market, he took advantage when it was 10 cents. And he invested $80,000 when it was what? 10 cents. Now by 20 cents, has he not double his money? By the 30 cents, that's like times 3. Meaning he would have by now pulled out maybe $80,000, allowed $160,000 and about to be running. I said, learn how to take advantage of the whisper of opportunity. When we are telling you that nobody's sacking you up,
Just
you
like
win
Tupac.
business. Tupac and whisper. So if you take to borrow money to do it, please go and do it. Because those who take advantage first, they always, before I could that don't go. If it was this time now, probably I'll be telling you I have over 50,000 Avinok on stage taken. Alright guys, we're done for today. Thanks so much. So let's meet next week. God bless you.